actually this is within all of us, this tension between good and bad. And one of the questions I would ask is, what could explain that? So a lot of the political systems and the philosophical ideas and even the religions of the world tend to focus on one or other of those. They either say we are basically bad, so don't expect more, but we can educate people and put laws in place that restrict them. And I guess if you're a naturalist, you don't believe in anything beyond the physical world, then we're just animals, aren't we? So animals do what their instincts say, but we can kind of control that behavior a little bit. We can train these animals. Or some belief systems say we're more than that. And in the Western world at the moment, I think people can't accept we're just animals. So they dream that we are godlike creatures. We create identities. We can transcend nature, transcend our bodies, transcend the limitations of this physical world. And it seems to me that the history of human thought and of religion always alternates between these two, and often in a reaction against each other. So we swing one way and then we go too far and we swing back. But I think what we need is a belief system that explains both. And the only belief system that I think truly and perfectly explains both is the Christian gospel. And that's because it tells us that we were created by God with dignity to be image bearers. That explains why we can create and do such good, because we have a good creator and he has created us for that purpose. But we have fallen from that position by rebelling against God. We're out of relationship with him, and because of that, we do what the Bible calls sin. And often these two things are mixed together, and it seems we try to put systems in place that will rescue us from the bad effects of our sin, but we're never quite able to do it. And the reason for that is that the gospel also tells us we can't rescue ourselves from that. Only God can do that. And the only way he can do it is by by himself taking on a human identity, becoming human, which again is right at the heart of the gospel, that Jesus was God incarnate. So Jesus dignifies our humanity. God became man. Humans are the only species like that. That's a wonderful thing about human nature. We have dignity because we were created by God, because God became a man and died for us to rescue us and rose again. And the gospel says not only that Jesus did that, but that he is beginning a new human race, a new humanity that is restored in relationship to God. And one day, he's going to return and complete that work. So the world will be put right and human nature will be put right so that we don't have this tension anymore. The wayward side is gone. That tendency to do bad is gone. And that's because Jesus rescues us. He rescues those who believe in him. He makes them into new people with a hope for eternity. So the gospel says a huge amount about human nature. It tells us why we have such value. And Western cultures have recognized that. They took it from Christianity. Let's not forget that. Humans have dignity created by God, but we have fallen into sin. We need rescued by God, but God has done what's needed for that. And we have potential to live with him eternally. And I think only the gospel explains the problem with human nature because of sin. And only the gospel gives true hope for human nature, because it's promising that God will solve the problem and give us an eternal life in Jesus Christ.